So the Hawks got the 6th seed, Raptors got the 5th. It'll be Cleveland against Toronto, 4th seed against 5th seed, and the Knicks get saddled up with Jalen Johnson, CJ McCollum, Nickeil Alexander, SGA's cousin, and the Atlanta Hawks. And it'll be Knicks-Hawks first round. I'm just going to warn people right now, this is going to be a very, very hard series. This is not going to be a cakewalk. This is not going to be a sweep or even a gentleman's sweep. This is going 6 games, maybe even 7. And I don't know, Dom, if that's your feeling too, but Jalen Johnson's a problem. CJ McCollum dipped into the fountain of youth in Atlanta, and he looks pretty good. Nickeil Alexander came from Minnesota, where he was looking like a 6th man of the year every season. Now he's playing pivotal, crucial minutes. He looks real good, and he almost went perfect from the field last Monday. And he is a real issue on defense, as we know. It's going to be a tough series.
It's going to be the same as last year in the first round where we played the Pistons.
That's crazy. That is wild. Do you know what I wrote here? This is going to be like the Pistons series last year. Tough, difficult, fast. I did not, I swear to God, I did not tell Dom that before the episode. That's literally what I have written down. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the FTB podcast. I'm your host, Chris Segulik, alongside my co-host, Tom Savino. We'll be discussing the week that was. The Yankees get swept by the Rays in Tampa, so that's not very good. But the Mets look like absolute dog shit, and they are lost, as the alarm is already going off in Queens. The NFL draft is 10 days away, but the NBA playoffs start on Saturday for the Knicks. It's prediction time. Leave your first-round predictions below, as we will address that highly anticipated topic in a bit. But first, do me a favor, take a seat.
Let's talk.
All right, so just off the top here, one announcement that I'm going to address now. Regarding the Knicks and their playoff series, me and Dom talked about it after the episode last Monday. We just talked about it now before we began this episode today. We're going to go live after every game. Now, Saturday is up in the air, game 1, just because I have a lot going on this upcoming weekend, so I don't know if I am going to be around to go live after the game on Saturday. Game starts at 6 p.m. I may not be around for that, and then the next day on Sunday, I got a bunch of things that I got to do, so I have to kind of prepare for it. So I'll see if I'm around. I hope I am. So that's TBD. We'll let you guys know what we decide to do on that. Dom's going to get back to me on his plans as well. We will try to go live after every game. Monday, we're going to do our usual episode. Obviously, we're not going to talk about basketball on Monday. It's a playoff game against the Hawks, playoff series, first round. So we're still going to go through it an episode on Monday, and then we'll try to go live. I'm going to assume game 2 is on Monday. That's generally how the playoff schedules have gone for years and years with the NBA. So that's just the one announcement I wanted to make before we get into it. And now, Dom, I'll ask you, how was your weekend?
Yeah, it was good. It was all good. Work's getting back to how it's supposed to be. So hopefully it's going to be a great rest of the spring and summer, and I'm excited. It's beautiful out today. If people are outside, lucky you. It's awesome out. So hopefully this is all this bad weather will be behind us, hopefully, and life's good, man. How about you?
It's good. It's good. Speaking of weather, today it's a little windy in my neck of the woods, but it's high of 79. Tomorrow, I'm going to be on the links at between 2 and 3 o'clock. It's going to be 81 tomorrow.
Wow.
Wednesday is going to be 83. Thursday, 82. Friday, 80. And then Saturday, Sunday comes back down to earth in terms of New York weather in the month of April. And I got to tell you, I got a flashback. You know how sometimes you go on your photos and you go on your Snapchat and you see flashback images and all that stuff? I got a flashback image from the end of January this year, me shoveling my snow trying to get my car out. I got to be honest, I almost shed a tear to see the weather now today being 79 and not having to deal with shoveling my car out. Thank the damn Lord. I'm not doing that again. That was just terrible. I almost cried back then. Laugh now, cry later. But yeah, thank God the weather's better and it is warm. But in terms of my weekend, I went to Greek Easter yesterday. I mean, just what a day. Weather was pretty. It was a little chilly, but it's interesting. Where my mom's first cousin, so she invited us to their Greek Easter. Her husband Mike is Greek, and the front of the house was hot, warm, sun was shining. Then you go to the back, there on like kind of like a canal, and it was freezing, and it was just crazy the temperature change for the backyard to the front yard. But nonetheless, it was a great time. The lamb wasn't good. It was fantastic. It was just tasty as hell. The skin, I don't know if you ever had lamb that gets cooked right off the spit, Dom, but it is just it's triumphant. The food that they were making. And of course they made all the other regular stuff, hamburgers, hot dogs, sausage, all that. But they got some of their Greek food and of course they had 4 separate lambs cooking on the spit and I got to tell you, I mean, what a day. I was in heaven, and that really culminated my weekend happily. And other than that, that's really all I got for you. But man, it was a great day yesterday.
Chris, usually I go first, but I got a weird text message yesterday right before you're about to go to bed saying I'm going first. And honestly, I woke up today, I'm like, I'm excited. And I'm excited to hear what you have to say. Chris, let's get to it, man.
Yeah. Dom didn't even want me to make an intro for today's episode. He said, I think
No.
we should just get right into it. I like consistency. I like to keep it consistent. But Dom kind of just forced me. He forced my hand, as they say. He's forcing me to now start off with the MLB, and Dom is
Yep.
100% right. I did text him last night. I told him that I'm going first, and I am 1,000 fucking percent going first. So here's the deal, folks. I get told by my brother, and I know he's listening to this, and shout out to Nick, very supportive. His dog Theo, even more supportive. But I get told by not just him, a lot of other people, I don't know. Your episodes sometimes are a little too negative.
I Same thing. Same thing,
Now,
especially when it comes to the Knicks. I get the
yeah,
same fucking thing.
folks, we throw in positivity, but don't argue with me, argue with the wall. Go ask the news on TV and go ask First Take. Go ask all of these networks. Negativity sells. It's a fact. Get used to it. We do throw positives in there, but we call it a spade a spade. We're blunt with it. And that's what I'm about to be right now. The Mets, they were off on Monday last week. They played 6 games. They went 1-5. They lost the series to the D-backs 2-1. And then they got swept by the A's, getting shut out 2 out of the 3 games this past weekend. 4-0 on Friday and 1-0 on Sunday. 1-0. Now, granted, the Yankees also got shut out by the A's 1-0 as well last week, or it was the week before, whichever week it was. Bottom line, it happened. But I want you to understand something. I'm not going to come on here and I'm not going to sit down and try to bush league the New York Mets, and especially with how high their payroll is and how much money they want for opening day tickets, for weekend tickets. Fuck that. I'm not doing that. Right now, and Dom, I thought about you when I was saying this to the Mets group chat that I got put in on back in December. It was around Christmas time. Thank you very much for the person who added me. I forgot which one it was, but I immediately thought of you, Dom. I was going to wait a month. I was going to wait 2 months. And Dom, you're about to get your wish right now. I just don't think Francisco Lindor wants to play for the Mets anymore.
Thank you.
I just don't.
Thank you.
I don't think he wants to be here. I mean, does the guy know what the fuck he's doing ever? He can't defend, but his defense has been shot for the last 2 seasons. Even 2024, when he was going on that MVP run, after, they were 10, 11 games under 500 after Memorial Day weekend in 2024, his defense hasn't been good in the last 2 seasons. Doesn't know how many outs there are, can't field properly, doesn't know when to go to second base. Poor Marcus Semien is trying to wait for him at second base so they could turn a double play. He's got to go do it himself. The guy got picked off at first in St. Louis against the Cardinals, and then he got picked off at third on a fielder's choice. Where are you going? Where the hell are you going? You're not going home. It's first and third and nobody out. Where the fuck are you going? I don't think he wants to be here. He looks completely out of it. They say, the hamate bone surgery. Okay, power is one thing, but you could still hit. You could still do with like what Ichiro Suzuki did all his career, and Louis Arias, what he does with his batting titles. You could still get hits, singles, doubles, and triples. Okay, you don't have a home run yet? Oh, well, still a little surprising you don't have at least one, but okay, that's fine. But if you're producing and you got RBIs and you're scoring runs and you have a decent batting average, we could put the homers to the side because we know it's going to take a while. But your swing doesn't even look normal. And look at Carlos Mendoza. He's like, yeah, he looks weird. I've never seen this before. He looks completely out of it. If your manager, who is not even a great manager to begin with, but if your manager is saying that about you, we got a serious, serious problem. Dom, I put out a poll, okay, a community post, put it out 2 p.m. on Saturday, made it at about 12:30 on Saturday after work, and I put the poll out. Since I mentioned Carlos Mendoza, I'm going to say this poll. With the Mets looking like hot garbage currently, and this was before, I was going to save this for Monday morning because I actually assumed that they were going to get swept by the A's, but I gave them the benefit of the doubt. Stupid me. Don't know why. I put it out 2 p.m. on Saturday. With the Mets looking like hot garbage currently, is there a possibility that Carlos Mendoza could be fired by June? I have 100 votes. 34%. Yes, mid-June. 31%. Yes, could be earlier. 8%. Yes, but later than mid-June. 26%. No, he's here to stay this season. What did I say on the reel what did I say the Monday before opening day? I said this is a big season for Carlos Mendoza, or I called him Mr. Carlos in the reel. Here's the thing. Carlos Mendoza is one thing, right? You fire him by mid-June, it is what it is. I ain't surprised. They'll pull what Armand Minaya pulled back in 2008 with Willie Randolph. I know I've said this a few times already. I said it in the reel. I'll say it again. But where's the accountability going to be for David Stearns? Because if this team, even if they just make it for the last wildcard spot, that is an absolute failure in my eyes. You could tell me what you want. And the games that they're losing now, how many games did the Mets miss the playoffs by? Oh, that's right, one. One game. So they're losing the games now. So what? All of a sudden, they're just going to win. They play the Dodgers tonight. You fucking kidding? They're getting swept. They're not winning a game. How are they winning a game? Then they go to Chicago. They don't play well at Wrigley Field. They haven't played well at Wrigley Field since 2015 for the NLCS. That's 11 years ago. What are we talking about? You're looking at a potential 11-game losing streak. I mean, I'm sorry. Call it how it is. They're not playing. Mookie Betts isn't even playing right now. He's hurt. They're not beating the Dodgers. Not a chance. Not with this piss-poor offense. And with the pitching. What did I say? I said, don't get too excited with Kodai Senga. I said, it's funny. I said to my uncle on Easter, I go, he looks good now. I go, wait for his third start. Every third start, he generally doesn't do well. Last year, they said, well, he had a great first half. He was pitching 4 or 5 innings. Cut the shit. He was
True.
barely pitching. And look at his third start. Look at his third start. Gave up 7 runs. What did I tell you? This is what it is. So if they don't make the playoffs this year, where's David Stearns going? He shouldn't be here. And Mr. Cohen, if you want to keep him, guess what? Take out another check. Write another check. Get your checkbook out. You're going to have to hire somebody under him if you want to keep David Stearns because his plan's not working. It's not working. So you're going to have to get somebody else in here if you want to keep David. And he's such a brilliant mind. Well, look what he did in Milwaukee. We ain't in, like, what's the saying? What's the old saying? We ain't in Kansas anymore. We ain't in Milwaukee no more. We ain't in Milwaukee. This is New York. Level up, bitch. We're in New York. We're not in Milwaukee anymore. So you're going to have to figure something out. Everybody's been making fun of this man with run prevention. He's been getting ridiculed on Twitter. I don't know if you've been seeing it, Dom. I meant to send you one the other day. It was hilarious. They were saying, how does Mark Vientos at first and Brett Beatty in right field prevent runs? How? It doesn't. It doesn't. There's not a chance. Your defense on the corners in the outfield, especially with Juan Soto not in the field now, because you have to now move Carson Benge to center when LRJ is not playing, and then the corner infield. Bo Bichette has actually looked okay recently. He's actually made some plays. Mark Vientos was doing all right at first base, but he's already started to regress. This defense is not cutting it. And what did I also say? You need to get another starting pitcher. You didn't do that either. Yes, granted, Freddie Peralta pitched 5-6 innings, only gave up a run. The offense has let the pitching down 100%. Not going to disagree with you on that. But you still need another starter. David Peterson, pack it up. You're done.
Yep.
He sucks. He sucks. I don't want to hear another word. The guy sucks. I said it. He was my disappointment pick for the season, and he will continue to do so. I'm telling you, he will continue to disappoint me because I just ain't buying it. There's a lot of lefties that the Mets sign that I just don't buy. Sean Manaea, yeah, he looked all right the other day out of the bullpen, but he hasn't looked great. He's still going full count on every hitter. He's still walking guys. What's the difference? Okay, they just happen to not connect on the ball hard enough to score some runs. It's okay. That will happen at some point. He will have to, unfortunately, get hit hard. It's going to happen. It's only a matter of time. But with this team right now, Bo Bichette not hitting enough, and to come to think of it, I mean, I can't even believe I'm about to say this. The guy I didn't want at the trade deadline last year, Dom agreed with it, is now their best hitter, Luis Robert Jr.
Yep. The thing is, it was mostly because of we knew he didn't want to be in Chicago, right? With the White Sox. We knew that from the start. And we know that he was a good power hitter. He was mentally checked out of there. Seems like Lindor is checked out of there. But mostly with LRJ, it was mostly when it came to injuries. Knock on wood that he doesn't get hurt anytime soon, right? But there is inconsistency with him. But the fact that he's doing great is surprising all of us, right? And when it comes to Lindor, like I just said, it seems like he's just burnt out. Crazy that it's the beginning of the season, but Lindor is known for not hitting shit in the first month or two of the season. Like that's a given, right? But we're not expecting shitty base running or shitty fielding either. That's the last thing that we would have thought of. He's lost. Something's going on, maybe personally, or maybe in the clubhouse. Maybe, right? You never know. Something's not right. And I hate to bring all this back up again, but I know that Soto is hurt and he's not with the team, but multiple reports, multiple, saying that there's a weird disconnect between Lindor and Soto. Can that also affect how he's doing too? It's possible.
Maybe.
Maybe that's a bit of a stretch, but maybe not. If all these reports are coming out, someone has to be spilling something, or it's just easy to tell if you're at the stadium every day.
Yeah,
It could
I
be.
agree. I don't mean to cut you off, but I have to also mention, I mean, he got thrown out a country mile yesterday. Did you see him trying to steal second base?
Yep.
I mean, I honestly think the catcher could have taken his time and thought it was throwing practice and just lobbed it to second, and Lindor still would have been out. I mean, I don't. You're right, Dom. There is something going on. There must be a disconnect. But what I am going to say too is here's the problem. Francisco Lindor got traded here January of 2021. Right after that, before the 2021 season started, first year Steve Cohen became Mets owner, he extended him immediately and gave him that 10-year, $341 million contract. So with that, obviously comes a lot of high expectations. You need to perform. You got to help the team make to the playoffs. The thing is, okay, 2021 didn't make it. 2022 won 100 games with the team. But the Braves went on a tremendous run the last month and a half of the season, and they took over the division, and the Mets lost in the wild card series to the Padres in 3 games, right? The full wild card best of 3 series. 2023 didn't make the playoffs. 2024 made the playoffs on a magical run. I'll give him his just due. Put the team on his back, literally with a hurt back. No pun intended at all. And got him in the playoffs on the last day of the season. Last game, second to last game, technically, of the season, because it was a doubleheader that day. And then they got to the NLCS, lost to the Dodgers. Last year, didn't make the playoffs. Half getting into the playoffs, half making it to the World Series, but really mostly getting the playoffs. It's like you go to this club, this nightclub, and you get online every single night, every weekend, and you still can't get in. You ever see Night of the Roxbury, Dom?
Yeah.
Do you remember when they try to get into the club and they just keep on getting denied? They keep getting told, come back tomorrow night.
Yep.
Come back next weekend. That's what it's turning into for Francisco Lindor. And after a while, you're like, fuck this. We're never going to get into this damn nightclub. And that's what it's becoming for Francisco Lindor. He's knocking on the door. He's getting close. And then he gets kicked out. He's there for 5 minutes, gets kicked out, or he knocks and knocks, waits online, and they say, sorry, max capacity, come back another night. And he just can't get in. And I think after a while, with the high expectations, the contract, and missing the playoffs every other year, he's like, I'm fucking exhausted. Like you said, he's mentally worn down. And I just think now, with Pete Alonso gone, Jeff McNeil gone, Brandon Nimmo hitting everything in sight right now, not looking very good for David Stearns, him being gone, and then I am sure he may not be reading it, but maybe he's hearing it around. Everybody rumoring, well, Lindor and his wife are the reason why, trying to make it political. We're not going to get into politics on this episode. We never will. Whatever it is, it is. We ain't getting into that. We don't know anything about it. We're not there in the locker room. We ain't getting into that shit. But saying him and his wife are the problem, and they're the reasons why Alonso, McNeil, and Nimmo aren't there anymore. I mean, you don't think he feels that shit? Of course he does. So there's a lot of stuff that's going on, a lot of rumblings that he is a cancer in the locker room, and he's the big problem. So, yeah, Lindor is just not there. He's a bit out of it. Will they have a turnaround? I have no idea. But what I will say is, and then, Dom, I'm going to let you speak on everything that I've said. Anthony DiComo came out with an article for MLB.com. I just saw it before we started the episode. He said right now there's a credibility factor that the Mets just don't have. Right? They say, oh, a turnaround's coming, a turnaround's coming. Well, when is it coming? And right now, that is just not a credible statement when you say that there's going to be a turnaround. Because unfortunately, with what transpired last season, Juan Soto hurt and still out for another 2 to 3 weeks. And then Lindor not producing, Bo Bichette not doing enough, Polanco also having Achilles tendonitis problems, and the guy who was swinging at everything like Javi Baez swings at pitches in the dirt is your best hitter right now in Luis Robert Jr., it's hard to have any type of credibility. And then what? You're going to tell me, oh, it's early, don't worry, they'll find it? I'm not buying that garbage. Not a chance. And then on top of that, I'm talking to my cousin who's a Yankee fan yesterday at Greek Easter, and he's like, well, the Mets aren't great, but the Yankees are right behind them. They don't look great either. And they just got swept by the Rays. But the thing is that the Mets spent all this money, and they also were putting themselves out there constantly, whereas the Yankees were a little more reserved, and they're a little more behind, and they essentially ran it back. So the Mets have a lot more expectation, frankly, than the Yankees do. And the Mets are in a harder, they're in a harder league. National League is just harder than the American League. Argue with a wall. That's just how I feel.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, but this is a big, big problem. And now they play the Dodgers starting tonight. And then they have a day off on Thursday and then go to Chicago, where for the last, I don't even know how many years, maybe at least 3, 4. 2022, they did well, but they did well against everybody. For the last 3 seasons, they haven't played well at Wrigley Field. And at this time of the month, it's cold and it's windy. So I don't see them doing very well. And you're going to tell me they're even going to win a game these next 6 games? Not a chance.
I'm not really I'm not up to date with my Mets history. When was the last time there was a captain for the Mets? Or was there ever? I have no idea.
David Wright.
David Wright.
David Wright. He became captain of the Mets right after. So I think he got his contract extension. Yeah, that actually would make sense. I mean, Wilpons generally don't have a good brain, and they've made a lot of stupid mistakes. But this actually made sense. They gave David Wright a contract extension after the 2012 season because he was due to be a free agent. And then that winter, after he signed, they made him captain. So
For someone who's been with the team since 2021, has put up good numbers, and is well known around the league, being a popular player and someone who is somewhat box office, and people go pay to see this guy play. Well, there could only be one reason why they didn't make Francisco Lindor captain yet. He's not a leader. Am I wrong? Can you
thing
call
is,
this guy a leader?
not currently. But the thing is, though, with what he did in 2024, with the run for the last June, July, August, September, for the last 4 months of the season, what he did then, what he did in 2022, how he answers the media, and how he doesn't put his teammates under the bus. Yeah, for before this season, and even last season, even when Soto got here for his first year last year, and this was Soto's new team, so it's easy for Lindor to still be, quote unquote, the captain. Yeah, he was seen as a leader since he got here. And Mr. Smile is his nickname for baseball. But right now, no. It's very hard. The other thing is, Dom, you have to take into account too. And then honestly, I want you to speak a little bit on the Yankees. I've ran a bit far here. Last thing I'll say, it's very hard to be a leader and to be a captain when you're just not playing well. It's extremely hard. You're batting 157, 167, whatever you're batting, which I'll take a look at it while I speak here, just to be 100% sure. But when you're not playing well and you're not hitting the baseball, You don't know how many outs there are. You're getting picked off. You're not playing good defense. You can't even run to second base to get a stolen base, even make it particularly close. When all those things are happening, it is very hard for a player to turn around and tell somebody else, "Hey, we need you to be better." Because if somebody said that to you, if I said that to you, Dom, and then you looked at my stats, what would you say right back at me? Well, that's the pot calling the kettle black. How about you pick up your shit first before you tell me what to do, idiot? That's what you would say. So it's very
Look,
hard. It's very hard for a player to be a leader when they're just simply not producing. I'm trying to find, I guess the lineup wasn't there. I'm trying to find Francisco Lindor because his batting average is really bad. It is extremely low right now. And it's got to be like 157, something like that. Here it is. Lindor, click on this. He's batting 188. Batting 188, one stolen base, no RBIs, and no home runs. Nothing.
I
Just
mean,
flat zeros.
I
So
don't.
very,
We weren't
very,
expecting much from him, but
but not
I
that
don't
much.
think not this bad.
Not this bad.
Not this bad.
So it's very hard for a guy with that stat line. 16 games, 9 plus 7, 2 and 2. Oh my God.
16.
I had a long day at work, so math is a little tough for me right now. 9 plus 16 games. It's a bad stat line for 16 games into the season.
Very bad.
Which, again, 16 games divided by 162. It's only 10% of the season, but 10% is already gone.
Yeah.
So the stat line needs to be picked up, but as you said, Dom, he looks lost.
Yes, he does. Anything else you gotta say about your Mets? I know it was a lot, but
No, we'll predict the 6 games. I mean, I kind of already did, but I don't know. We'll see with how this episode goes. Maybe I'll throw them a bone and say they win a game. We'll see, but we'll give our predictions down the line. But no, I am done. I've already ran my rant a bit long here, so you can go with your Yankees now. Which I'll be honest, they don't look that great either.
well, we did lose 5 straight, so that's always fun, right? I didn't. Not everything is gonna be from the heart because I'm usually not a stat guy, but I was just looking at the stats over the weekend and then updating myself yesterday, and I was like, you know what, Chris, you don't even know these stats. I gotta just lay out some fun facts for you, right? The Yankees. We are 0-6 in one-run games this season. Not one player had a batting average over 300 against the Rays except for one person, Ben Rice, who hit 500 when he only had 4 at-bats. Why is the best hitter on the team only having 4 at-bats? The entire rest of the team in the series hit 188. Against the A's, the team had a 144 batting average, and only one player hit over 300. Well, not over, exactly 300, and that was Ahmed Rosario. Aaron Judge hit 111 against the A's and 143 against the Rays. Leadoff man, Trent Grisham against the A's, 125. Against the Rays, 0.
Wow,
0.
not
Donut.
one hit, not one hit.
0.
Wow.
Nothing. As a team, we're batting 202. 202.
Oh boy.
Those are great fun facts, right? Is it a slump? No shit, it's a slump, right? Do we have players who can hit? Yeah. But we're not using them. Paul Goldschmidt, rotting on the bench. I'm glad Ahmed Rosario is getting more playing time. He deserves it. Ryan McMahon. I'm a better hitter than Ryan McMahon. I'm better. And I haven't played a game of baseball in years. I miss it so much, by the way. Just had to put that out there. I miss baseball
too.
so much.
I know.
But I'm better. I wouldn't be a better fielder than him because I'm a lefty, but that's not the case. We have players who can hit on this team, even if they are slumping, even if you put them in the batter's box, they are a threat, no matter if there's runners on base or not. Caballero, nothing. McMahon, nothing. Why are we still playing them? And I'll tell you why. One word: analytics.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron Boone, the king of analytics. He's great at reading. That's all that it is. He's a great reader.
Mm-hmm.
That's all that he's good at. He could read stats. That's it. The analytics team, I think they're making this shit up at this point. It's never going to be the same. It's never going to work. He just needs, I've said this for episode after episode after episode, get your robot brain out of here. Why can't you just see the game as is? And there's only one good hitter on this team as of late, and that's Ben Rice.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Giancarlo Stanton, he's slowed down a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit. Nothing out of the ordinary, nothing too crazy. He's not hitting zero, right? He's always a threat while being up there. He still gets walked, right? Ben Rice is the only good hitter on the team. Out of all the players that we play, because there's a million guys in these fucking lineups. There's a different lineup every day, and you're telling me only one hitter is doing good? We got all these new coaches, right? We got all these new coaches this past year. We got a change in the scouting department. Nothing's happening.
Mm-hmm.
Are we going up against the Dodgers like you tonight? We're going up against the Athletics and the Rays. That's who we're losing to? That's who we can't even get a hit off of? And people wanted to judge us. I mean, Yankee fans were judging this season on a series against the San Francisco Giants, who are absolutely dog shit.
Oh, they are. I mean, the Mets beat them 3 out of 4. So if they beat them 3 out of 4, you got to then think that any team losing to the Mets 3 out of 4 is just absolutely brutal.
Oh, yeah, we look good. Yeah, right? We're looking good. We crushed them. We crushed the Giants. Oh, we beat the Marlins, too. Big whoop. Right? I mean, really? And we played a Mariners team who's just off to a slow start.
Mm-hmm.
Cal Raleigh did absolutely nothing against us. He was doing so bad, he had to sit a game. That's how bad he was doing.
Yeah.
And right, like, I'll just read just some of the stat lines from Cam Schlittler, who did amazing in the beginning of the year, and he's sort of coming down to earth a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But these stat lines aren't, like, out of the ordinary where it's like, oh, we have no chance of coming back. Against the A's, 5 innings pitched, 5 hits, 3 runs, 7 Ks. I mean, it's not good, but we should be able to come back. And the Yankees did that game, right? Thanks to Rosario with 2 home runs in that game. And that's the only reason why we won. We won 5-3. Literally the only reason why we won is because of that man.
Mm-hmm.
Again, against the Rays. 5 innings pitched, 7 hits, 3 runs, 1 walk. I mean, this isn't bad at all. There's absolutely 0 run support. Just flat out freezing cold. Not cold.
Mm.
Antarctica cold.
Well, you didn't hear what Jazz Chisholm said. It's just not warm yet. That's
Oh,
all.
I'm getting to that. I was just about to get to that. Jazz Chisholm on his early season struggles. It's cold. It's literally all it is. I'm not using it as an excuse. Well, yes, you are. As soon as the weather heats up, I heat up. That's what it is. It's hard to function when you can't even feel the bat. You know, I didn't realize that the Yankees play in Miami I, in October. I didn't know that. Did you know that, Chris?
No, no.
It's not like we play any important games at all in September and October in cold weather. You're right. It's 70 degrees. It's 70 degrees here in October. Completely forgot.
No, yeah.
Why didn't you tell me this? This is just out of your mind to me.
Yeah.
He's fucking us so bad because, like I said, we need him to do good so we can trade him. The whole fan base has lost him. You know, all the chill guy, cool guy dilemma it's over. It's over, right? You know, you lost us, bro. You're done. By July, I hope you're out of here. And I think all the Yankee fan base thinks so too. Especially for someone who wants $30 million a year, which you're not going to get that from any fucking team. I mean, maybe the Colorado Rockies because they're fucking desperate, or the Pirates. But hey, best of luck. And guess
Well,
what? That's cold weather.
I'll be
That's
honest
cold
with you,
weather too.
Dom. I'll be honest with you. I don't even think
From
the
nowhere.
Pirates. I don't
Nowhere.
even think the Pirates would give it to him because the
Nowhere.
Pirates, right now, the Pirates actually have a pretty good record. The
They're doing good.
Pirates, are in first place.
I know.
They're
They're
9
doing
and
good.
6. They
They're
ain't
doing
giving them
good.
that money. They don't need to. No,
Yeah.
they actually made some good moves. And of course, they have they still have Brian Reynolds, and now
Yeah.
they have Brandon Lau, who's been a fantastic pickup for them. No, the Pittsburgh's not giving them that money. I don't know who is. Maybe you're right. Maybe only the Rockies. Yeah.
Yeah. But like, it's just not going to happen. He needs to go, right? And even him, let's say he starts doing good, it's still not going to help this team. We're still losing 1-0, and we're only giving up a few runs. And it's not like the end of the world where we're getting murdered out here like by 7 runs. It's just not even some hits. You know, Austin Wells hit a home run in the Rays series. Good for him, but that's all that's he's done really. Ryan McMahon, he had 2 singles, big whoop, and then when we really needed him in the last out of the game, because he got a hit his last at bat, Aaron Boone's like, you know what, he's hot. He's hot right now. You know, like that's how it should be, right? Like you don't pitch hit him when you have Paul Goldschmidt on your fucking bench, right? No, because he's hot. You know, he's on a 1 at bat hitting streak, right? Aaron Boone, you're so stupid, man. I'm
Oh
done
my
with you. I've been
God.
done with you for years. You gotta go. But I must say to all the Yankee fans who are hating on Jazz for this one reason about last night when we went into extra innings, bases loaded, 1 out. You know, Jazz is trying to get the ball. No shit, you have to get a double play or the game is over. But because he bobbled the ball, it's over. And then they're trying to ask him, oh, what do you think was going to happen if he did this and that? I wouldn't know how to answer that shit either. He bobbled the ball, can't tag the guy, going to second base. The game's over. It's an error. But, like, you can't call this guy dumb. Like, he obviously knows what he's doing. Everyone had a field day last night when it came to him, right? So, I know bad play on him, but I'm not calling the guy illiterate. That's something I'm not going to do, right? But then another bad thing that happened, Luis Hill. He looked god-awful on Saturday. 4 innings pitched, 3 hits, 3 earned runs, 3 walks, 2 Ks. He's not ready. I don't know. Is he still hurt? I don't know. Or is his velocity still not there? It seemed like it was all right. His velocity it didn't seem out of the ordinary. It's not like he was down 4 or 5 miles an hour on his fastball or anything. He was just out of control. It was like a Ryan Weathers situation where you just can't control the strike zone. That's all that it is. And I mean, Cody Bellinger, he got cold too. Someone who was one of our hottest hitters in the first two series, he was looking great. He's cold too. Everyone is just flat out cold. And I wish I could say the same thing with you and your manager that, this is going to be him possibly on the hot seat, but that's not going to be the case with Aaron Boone. It never will be. I don't know. He's here for, I don't know. He might be here till we're dead. I don't fucking know. But
That's insane.
everything is just not looking good.
No,
And I don't care that it's this early in the season. If you're watching these games, you know that there's a big problem.
yes, without a doubt. And Jazz Chisholm's comments are ridiculous. I just think, I don't want to make an excuse. Well, if you didn't make an excuse, you wouldn't have mentioned it. So, listen, I wanted the Yankees to trade for the guy at the deadline. They got him. I also didn't think he was going to become this big of a nuisance, honestly, in the locker room and as a Yankee player. And I feel for the Yankee fans. I understand where they're coming from, where, like Dom, he wants him traded by July. Hopefully he plays well so that they can get something for him in return. Right now, for both New York baseball teams, it's just not looking great. And, I had high anticipation. Dom had high anticipation for our team, for Yankees, for him, Mets for me. We both came into the season, try to enjoy it. We don't know what next year is going to bring with the potential lockout and the CBA disagreement. But it's hard to watch these games and realize, wow, what we thought we were going to see right out the gate is nothing comparable to what we're seeing now. And there's still whatever 162 minus 16 is. So what is that?
Yeah.
52. That's another 146 games. So, yeah, could both teams turn it around? Of course. Anything's possible in sports. But from what we've been watching, it's very much up in the air. And it's interesting. The Yankees, of course, as we've said multiple times, especially you, Dom, having to, watch these guys play and not have the young guys get called up, right? You sent me that video of George Lombard Jr. playing well in the minors, saying, why can't we have this guy come up? Spencer Jones, of course, may never get the phone call. I don't know when that's going to happen. But there was one thing I forgot to say, and I'm going to mention it now so I don't have to save it for when we do the episode wrap up. I know people are like getting upset with Carson Benge, and I know you may not agree with me that he should get more at bats and he should still be there, and he's got to work out the kinks and he's got to mature in the major leagues and not just look to send him down and then bring him back up. Will he get sent down? Maybe. I don't have control of that. But what I will say to you is Carson Benge got put in this lineup not as the savior. He's at the bottom of the order. He's batting eighth, maybe even ninth, one of these next up and coming games. He ain't the problem. It's all the other guys that you're paying millions of dollars. So as much as you say, oh, you rushed Carson Benge, I don't think he's ready. Listen, positivity breeds success. There's a lot of things that breed each other. Winning breeds better performance in winning. So if the guys in front of them are not getting it done and then they're slouching, they look upset, they're negative. The guy who Dom says, is he even a leader? A guy who's supposed to be the leader, and Francisco Lindor is not even cutting it, and he looks upset. Yeah, you're giving off negative vibes, and you're giving off loser mentality. So as much as you want to say, well, Carson Benge should be sent down, he's not the savior in this lineup. That's why he's batting
No.
eighth. He's batting eighth. Let the kid play. But everyone else has got to do their job. Yeah, he's had miscues in the field. He's not hitting well in the box. But What about everybody else? I mean, come on. Really, the only guys that I see hit more than get out are LRJ and I honestly, Francisco Alvarez. That's it. And Marcus Semien, not good with a bat. I mean, he's looked a little bit better recently, but not great. But we're not surprised because the last 2 seasons it hasn't been good. And obviously, a lot of the other guys. Jared Young batting third. Jared fucking Young is batting
Yeah.
third.
Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't mention that earlier.
I mean, what is this? What is this? John Mayberry Jr. back in 2015? What the fuck is this? What is this shit?
You know, like, you have to let these young guys play, and that's the Yankees' problem. At least, Benge isn't doing good at all right now. But like you
No.
said, I agree with you. You got to work out all the kinks. I mean, Aaron Judge played half a season before his rookie year, and he did dog shit. What if they kept him down there? Right?
I don't know.
Like with when we had um Peraza, who I did like, and he's
Yeah.
actually hitting, decent with the Angels right now. But
Mm-hmm.
how could he succeed if he's playing a few games up, then going down, then a few games up, then going down? How is that going to work? That's not going to work. With Spencer Jones, all right, he might have a high strikeout rate or whatever. So did Aaron Judge. You got to give him a chance. And honestly, there's no excuse for fucking George Lombard Jr. He's killing it in every aspect of the fucking game, and he's still
Mm-hmm.
not up.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you have to let him play.
I
And
agree.
even though it is only April too, but obviously it sucks that we have to say that every game's important, but it is, especially
I,
with
I
your guys' sake when you guys were down one game last year.
yeah. I mean, that's all
So
it took.
and especially now with you and with you guys and Soto being hurt for another 2-3 weeks, this is crucial.
Mm-hmm.
This is
I
crucial,
agree.
and both of us, we lost 5 straight. So
It's not a good look. What I will say is, if the Mets want to show the fans some sort of life, just something, just some sort of positive attitude, and maybe a light at the end of the tunnel, find a way. This could be a serious, prove it, pivotal moment for David Peterson. This offense, go into LA tonight and win this game. You win this game tonight, and this episode, of course, as always, comes out tomorrow. But I'll say it now. You win tonight's game in LA, and how convenient. Yankees are playing the Angels here. Mets are playing the Dodgers in LA. We'll give our predictions down the line here. But you win tonight in LA, and the door for the light at the end of that tunnel opens up a little bit. And it opens up bit by bit by bit. The more you start to turn things around naturally, right? But it has to start tonight. Peterson's got to come with a chip on his shoulder, pitch angry, and really show the Mets fans that, hey, things will happen in a season, but it's 162 games for a reason. And we are going to start to turn it around. But no one's going to believe you. No one's going to think that you have any credibility on it until you show it, just like what Anthony DeComo was saying. And it'd be the same thing with the Yankees. The Angels are 8-8. They're 500. I got to tell you, I mean, I don't know why, but Mike Trout is a ball magnet. I don't know why this guy keeps on getting hit, even when he's in foul territory at third base. I don't know if you saw that, Tom. I feel bad, feel
yeah,
terrible
so
for the guy. But they're not a bad team either. And so Mets and Yankees, you got to start pulling it together. Because right now, losing 5 straight, Mets are 7-9 in last place. Yankees are either tied for first or a half game out at 8-7. This is not what the fans signed up for. So, and
no,
especially with Doomsday coming next year with the CBA problem. So get your head out of your ass, get it together, and let's play some fucking baseball.
Remember what
And
I
that's all I
said?
gotta say from my end. Go ahead, Dom.
Remember what I said? There was like last week or 2 weeks ago when about the leadoff spot and Trent Grisham shouldn't be there and it should be Paul Goldschmidt.
Yes.
Well, he's leading off tonight.
Good.
It took him 15 games to realize that he should be the guy in every fucking day. Put Ben Rice behind the plate.
Mhm.
Do it. I don't
Mhm.
care if he's a good first baseman or if he's shit or if he's amazing. Put him in there so Austin Wells cannot be in there. I don't care that he hit one home run against the Rays. I don't give a shit. Put Goldie at first base, make Ben Rice catch. Everything will be 10 times better. They have the best pitcher in baseball right now. Did you know that?
Mhm. They do.
Soriano?
Mhm.
He
Yes.
is looking incredible.
Mhm. He does. Oh, yeah.
Right now, he's a Cy Young. He's a Cy
Yeah.
Young winner as of right now.
Yeah. Again, only 16 games in, but yeah.
We never seen this. We never seen this from him before.
No.
Something happened over the offseason and he flipped the switch.
Who
But
knows? You know, it could that's why I'm saying anything could happen in sports.
yep,
That's why I say that. All right, well, I'm good, Dom.
I'm good.
Yeah, I think it's time to move on. All right, so that's it for baseball. That was that's got to be the longest baseball segment we've done so far in the what close to a year history of this podcast. So now we're moving on to the NBA, and this is where this is it. It's going to start to get interesting. Teams did no favors for the Knicks. Me and Dom were praying to the good Lord we'd have the Raptors in the first round. I think the Hawks purposely lost that game yesterday. I think they were scoreboard watching and they were seeing that the Raptors were winning. And they said, let's pull it back a little bit. Pull it back. So Hawks lost yesterday. Raptors won. So the Hawks got the 6th seed. Raptors got the 5th. It'll be Cleveland against Toronto, 4th seed against 5th seed. And the Knicks get saddled up with Jalen Johnson, CJ McCollum, Nikhil Alexander, SGA's cousin, and the Atlanta Hawks. And it'll be Knicks Hawks first round on the week. The Knicks beat the Hawks by literally, no pun intended, no, this ain't a figure of speech, by the skin of their teeth. Beat them 108-105. Dom, I'm going to be honest. I thought that ball went in, and I thought CJ McCollum got it off in time. I'm going to be honest. I thought he did.
Me
And we're
too.
like, oh, this is a loss if this is going in OT. I was like, there's no way. They look tired. They looked exhausted, rightfully so. Then they beat the Celtics 112-106. Fantastic game. I very much think the Knicks can beat the Celtics in a 7-game series. Then the Knicks beat the Raptors 112-95. Thus why I wanted a Knicks Raptors first round series. And then nobody played against, of course, for the Knicks, and they lost to the Hornets. Who cares? 110-96. That was literally the B team playing, maybe even the C team, with
Mhm.
how they were shooting the ball yesterday. But this is it. First round Knicks Hawks. And as I said in the intro, leave your predictions in the comments during, after the episode, whichever. But I'm just going to warn people right now. This is going to be a very, very hard series. This is
Yes,
not
it
going
is.
to be a cakewalk. This is not going to be a sweep or even a gentleman's sweep. This is going 6 games, maybe even 7. And I don't know, Dom, if that's your feeling too, but Jalen Johnson's a problem. CJ McCollum dipped into the fountain of youth in Atlanta, and he looks pretty good. And SGA's cousin, Nikhil Alexander, came from Minnesota where he was looking like a 6-man of the year every season, and now he's playing pivotal, crucial minutes. And he looks real good, and he almost went perfect from the field last Monday. And he is a real issue on defense, as we know. That is a very much an Alexander family thing that they have going on. SGA plays great defense as well. As much as he's a foul baiter, he does play good D, unlike Jalen Brunson. But it's going to be a tough series. And Dom, I'm going to let you go first. How do you feel about this series? What is your first round prediction? And, where do you see the Knicks going in this first round?
It's going to be the same as last year in the first round where we played the Pistons. It's like,
That's crazy. That is wild. Do you know what I wrote here?
What?
This is going to be like the Pistons series last year. Tough, difficult, fast. That's
Yep,
I did not. I swear to God, I did not tell Dom that before the episode.
he didn't.
That's literally what I have written down here.
It's gonna be the exact same thing. I think that we'll win in 6, but it's not gonna feel like 6 games.
No.
You know, it's gonna be a really hard 6 games, gonna feel like a 7-game series. It's gonna be physical, like another good team that's good at defense. God only knows how we're gonna be defensively, and they have a great offense. Jalen Johnson, he's leading them in points, rebounds, and assists. He almost averaged a triple double this year.
Hmm.
22 and a half points, 10 rebounds, and 8 assists. And he's a great defender, by the way. Doing all those numbers and you have great defense. And also they have what's his name? Dyson Daniels,
Oh
right?
yes, the Great Barrier Thief is
The
what they
great
call
barrier
him.
thief. They play great
Hmm.
defense. They play great defense. So honestly, this is gonna be hard for us. And also, hate to break it to you, they make threes too. And we are the worst at defending threes. So
Yeah.
it's going to be an absolute bloodbath. I'll tell you that much. And we can never get an easy first round. It seems like.
Well, that's what everyone's saying right now. The Knicks have the hardest path.
Yeah,
So much for having a season where there were, Achilles injuries with Tyrese Halliburton and JT, Jason Tatum. And the Knicks still ended up with the toughest road going for the Hawks and then the Celtics. And honestly, one could argue, me and maybe even Dom, listen, I don't want to get too ahead of myself. Knock on wood. I don't want to jinx anything. I think first round's going to be harder than second.
I mean, I don't know.
I think so. That's my thought. I think the Knicks, Leon Rose built this team, and I agree with. And I don't like the guy, but just how I don't like what's his name from the Pacers. Can't believe I'm drawing a blank.
McConnell,
The no, the old the
Miller.
Reggie Miller. How I said the other week, I don't love Reggie Miller, but I'll give him his credit. Same thing with Nick Wright on First Comes First on FS1. I agree with him. Leon Rose built this Knicks team to beat Boston.
Yep.
And that's a big reason why I feel like first round may be a bit harder than the second.
I mean, I don't know now because now they have Vucevic. They didn't really have a great center. I mean, they had Al Horford, but I mean,
He was pretty good.
he was good, but I mean, Vucevic, he's younger, he's taller, he's gonna get more rebounds, he's gonna pass more.
It's
They
valid.
still have Derek White, so Peyton Pritchard, can't forget about him.
Hmm.
They're a better team than last year.
Hmm.
And I mean, I think everyone that's a Knicks fan agrees that I think we would have beat Boston even if Tatum didn't tear his Achilles that day.
100%.
But still,
Whatever.
it's gonna be this is gonna be a harder path than last year. And
Hmm.
like we said before the season started, don't sleep on the East.
Mm-mm.
Do not sleep on the East. I mean, we thought that the Magic was gonna be way better than they were,
Hmm.
especially in the beginning of the season. That didn't happen. But now look at the Hawks. I don't think anyone was expecting the Hawks to be like this. So they just
No,
replaced them.
no.
And then
And
I
and I
guess
and I
we
want
got
to
lucky
say
too with the Giannis situation
for
because
sure.
if Giannis was actually into the Bucks and not hurt all the time, he'd be in the playoffs too.
Hmm. Yeah. I want to say one thing. I know people at the time were giving the Atlanta Hawks front office a lot of crap for giving away Trae Young, but let's give them their flowers here. They knew what they were doing with
Yep.
saying, we don't need this guy who has never heard of defense run this team anymore. And he's a prima donna with his customized Rolls Royce pulling up to the with his stupid insignia or statue on his Rolls Royce, rolling up to the stadium every night, not playing defense and just making stupid shots way behind the arc. Let's now run the team through Jalen Johnson. It's looking like a brilliant move right now. Because so give the Atlanta Hawks front office their flowers because they push the right buttons on that. trading away Trae Young and running the team through Jalen Johnson. I mean, folks, I don't know if you looked it up, if you heard the broadcast last Monday. Dom, do you want to take a guess? Maybe you already know, maybe you heard it. If you didn't, do you want to take a guess what the Hawks record was the last 20 games before the Knicks Hawks game last Monday?
No idea.
18-2. 18-2.
Oh, they played like it. Not
Yeah.
they
I
played
think
like
the
it
front
against us.
office knows what they're
Yeah.
doing. I think the front office knows a thing or two about ball.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way. Okay. So that's why it was honestly a big win last Monday. And then they beat the Celtics. To be honest, in my opinion, this was the perfect week for the Knicks to do this. Right before the playoffs started, that was actually a fantastic week for the Knicks. They beat the Hawks, the Celtics, and they continued their bludgeoning on the Raptors. But I'm obviously digressing from the main point of the playoff series, but I just wanted to give the Atlanta Hawks front office their flowers.
Did you see the interview with SGA talking about his cousin?
No, I did not.
He said, that our whole life we've played pretty much alike in every sense of style of basketball.
Yes.
And honestly, I just had the easier path. When I got traded, they gave me the keys. They gave me the keys to the team. And he said, I'm sure if he gets an opportunity to do that, he'd do the exact same thing as me. And the way he's been playing, I sort of agree with him,
Oh yeah.
honestly.
I was talking to one of my managers at my job today, and I said to him, uh, so what's his Nikhil Alexander Walker is his full name, and however I was saying it before, maybe I was right, maybe I was wrong, but whatever. I said him and SGA. I was saying this to my boss at work. They shoot the same, they defend the same, they dribble, they do everything the same, the exact like what I mean, me and Dom on a lot of this stuff today, I guess, are on the exact same page. But literally, I was saying this at work today. They do the exact same thing. They look identical, like they're cloned. They look like clones when it comes to basketball. And again, as I said already, Nikhil Alexander Walker was not missing a single shot. I didn't know when this guy was ever going to miss. And then finally, down the stretch, the last 2-3 minutes, he started to miss a couple of shots. And I was like, finally. But this guy was making every shot, and it's a blessing in disguise for Nikhil Alexander Walker to get traded to Atlanta and leave
Yep,
Minnesota. It was.
absolutely.
So, but so how do you feel, Dom, about this series? Like, do you think winning? I mean, of course, statistically, winning game one is huge, but do you feel like the Knicks will come out, win game one, look like they're on it? Really kind of take in the crowd at MSG. I mean, where do you see this starting off on Saturday?
Just like how this season has played out for us, I have no idea. I'm gonna be straight up honest with you.
Okay.
I have no idea. I have no idea what to think.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing I can say is, Mikal Bridges, do not let me down because I've put all this faith in you, and I sort of had a feeling that you weren't gonna do amazing. I thought you could do a little better than last year in when it came to the regular season. I don't think it was by that much, but I know that you'll show up in the playoffs. But we are not going to win games. The only person that will allow us to win games is Karl Anthony Towns. That's the only player that will allow us to win games.
Mm-hmm.
Can he shoot? Can he post up and have some post moves, do a little fadeaway midline jumper, something like that? If if he plays his game the way that he can actually play it and not have any nerves or jitters or whatever, then we'll win. But if not, we're screwed. This is all on Cat because you want to know why? With Jalen Brunson, they do the same thing every year to Jalen Brunson. They go at him defensively, and they double team him. And for some reason, it works. There's a lot of times where he just can't get out of it. And he's not a great defender either, and every single person in the world knows that, so they're going to go for him. And also, they're going to go at Cat too. They're going to try and get him out early too. So if Cat can not reach in and actually play some defense, but also be aggressive on offense and not elbow people in the face, then we'll be okay. We're going to need Mikal Bridges, Cat, and even OG Anunoby to perform, and then we'll be okay. Because Jalen Brunson, there's times where he's helpless, and he can't do a damn thing.
No.
And it's not good, but we have 4 other players on the court that can score, so we'll see how it goes.
There are a few things I'm going to say aside from everything that I said, last week, and that's in the reel about the 5 things the Knicks needs to do to succeed in the playoffs. I talked about off-ball movement, but on-ball movement needs to be a big key too. I mean, if you look back at the game last Monday, the ball was moving a lot in that game. Number 2, and this is how the Knicks beat Boston on Thursday. Josh Hart, if you are open, for the love of God, shoot the ball.
Yep.
I saw a few instances against the Raptors, don't know why, against the Celtics and against the Hawks. You were open, you looked to drive and pass it somewhere else. No. You're open for 3. You've been shooting the 3 well all season. This is the best season you've shot behind the arc since you've come to the Knicks. Maybe even your whole career in the NBA. Shoot it. Do not pass. I don't care if you airball one of them. Just shoot it. Because they're leaving you open. Now, the Hawks may say, no. We're going to make somebody else shoot it. Okay, fine. But if you're open and they're going to still keep doing this stuff and be stupid and leave you open behind the arc, please, for the love of God, shoot the ball. You have to shoot it. The other thing, this playoffs, and I've seen Brunson do it other years, and it costed them some games, even when they won the series. You have to pick your moments of when you're searching for a foul. Do not look for a lot of fouls in the playoffs. You ain't getting them.
Yeah, they're not going to call it.
They ain't going to call it. That's for Brunson. That's for Cat. That's for Josh Hart. All 3 of them. Because they're the biggest, 3 biggest proponents looking for a foul that is just never going to get called. And you just can't do it. And the other thing is, the last thing I'll say, they have to play fast with Atlanta. That's how they got on big runs. That's how they had marginal leads. That's how they ended up pulling away and were able to win by 3. Yes, granted, I thought that shot from C.J. McCollum half court went in, but listen, it goes in, it doesn't go in. They still had a lead for a lot of the time, and you just have to run fast because the Hawks are going to be doing it. They're a young team. I know C.J. McCollum's not a spring chicken, but Dyson Daniels, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Jalen Johnson, they are young, and they want to run. It's like what you had to deal with the Pacers the other years. They want to run. They're going to go up and down the court a lot. But there's one statistic that the Knicks have in their favor, and man, I saw it again on First Things First on FS1 with Chris Broussard and Nick Wright, and I saw it before, but I saw it again on Twitter this morning. The biggest thing that the Knicks have in their favor, and it was a wide margin. Did you see their 4th quarter plus-minus differential?
No.
It's a plus 236.
Jesus Christ.
Last year, it was a minus 82.
Wow.
They're the best 4th quarter team in the NBA. That is a big reason. The big reason is because of Jalen Brunson, but it's the other players on the team as well, and it's his teammates. Josh Hart, even some of Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby. Everyone's got to come to play in the 4th quarter, and if they can carry that plus 236 4th quarter plus minus differential into the playoffs, they will win a lot of games and they can potentially get as far as they can go. It would help if somebody upsets the Pistons. That would help a lot. Is that going to happen? Don't think so, because Cade Cunningham's back. But you got to ride that fourth quarter stat. And you got to be ready to go. And God, Lord, please. Josh Hart, Cat, Jalen Brunson, I promise you, we've seen it ever since y'all have been on this team for years. You are not going to get the foul calls that you were getting in the regular season. You are
No.
not getting them. And you got to stop foul baiting and you got to stop looking for fouls. And Cat, and it's honestly all three of them, but it's mostly Cat and then Hart and then Brunson. Quit your bitching. Put it in your back pocket. Don't bitch to the refs. And then they got a 5-on-4 fast break. Don't want to see that garbage. So pick your moments, because you're going to have to, especially in this round, because it's going to be physical. Like Dom said, it's going to be tough. And I hope I would love a gentleman's sweep. It's not going to be a sweep. No shot. I would love a gentleman's sweep. Wouldn't be surprised if it goes 6. Really wouldn't be surprised if it even goes 7. I hate to say it.
One person we haven't talked about, and yes, it is a make or miss league, but we are also a make or miss team. Landry Shamet. You got to shoot the fuck out of the ball and you got to make it.
No, well, no, Dom, that's in the reel. I said that last week.
Yep.
The fourth comment or fourth thing out of the 5 that I said was the bench, and they had a problem with it last week against the Hawks and the Celtics. Not so much the Raptors, of course, because the Knicks have the Raptors number. That's why we were very upset that the Hawks got the 6th seed. But it was more against the Celtics and the Hawks. The bench let up runs. The other team had 10-0, 12-0, 12-2 runs. I said in the reel. It's in the reel. Listen to it. And I'm talking more about the viewers, not really so much Dom. I said you got to avoid those, and you got to make big shots. The 3 names I said, Dom, were Landry Shamet,
Yep.
Miles McBride, Jordan Clarkson.
Yep.
Those are 3 names. You have to make big shots. You cannot let the other team get on to long runs like 10-0, 12-2. No way. Because, again, as I said already last week, the starters need rest. And Mike Brown, especially in the playoffs, forget about the regular season, especially in the playoffs, he's not going to watch you give all that up and have the starters just sitting there. And now your 15-point lead is now down to 5. He's not going to watch that. At least I hope he isn't. I know it's his first year as a coach, so we've never seen Mike Brown coach the Knicks in the playoffs before. But I'm going to assume if he's a smart coach, he's not going to let that go. So he's going to put the starters right back in. So the bench, as I said, the last week of those games for the regular season, they're big games for the bench. And they got to show it. Come Saturday, starting game 1.
Do you want the same starting lineup that we've been seeing?
No. No.
You want Mitch
No.
in?
I want Mitch because the Hawks don't have the size. The Hawks don't have the size of Mitch Robinson and Cat. They don't.
I mean, they have Okongwu, who's 6'10".
Okay.
They also have Dyson Daniels is 6'7". He's big. They have Jalen Johnson, who's 6'8". They have a tall team, but in general, I think Josh Hart is just better off being the 6th man so he can do his thing and, let him play. Let him play his game.
But again, that's what I mean, though. Power forward and center, the Hawks don't have the height that the Knicks have.
They don't.
They just don't. So that's why I would like to have Mitch starting, but we ain't the coach. So we'll see what he puts out there, right before game time or the morning of Saturday. Who knows? But yeah, game 1's going to be big. Winning game 1 always puts you in the driver's seat in any series. The
Yep.
first, second, third, finals, whatever. Still, the game's not another 5 days away. It's not until Saturday. So I don't really have anything else to say, Dom. How about you?
All good.
All right. So the NFL, we're not going to get into this at all. We're going to talk about it really next week because the NFL draft is on April 23rd in Pittsburgh. So that's a week from this Thursday. So we do have some things to say, but we'll save it for next Monday. It just fits better that way. And plus, Monday's episode will not be about basketball at all. We're gonna save that for the live show after Monday's. I'm gonna assume game two is on Monday. As I said in the beginning of the episode, that's how the scheduling's been for the NBA for years. So we are going to save the basketball talk for after game two, and we're really just going to strictly talk about baseball and football on Monday. So nothing really to say about the NFL. So that now brings us to take a seat. Let's predict. We're going to do the Knicks first because it's fitting, and since Mets and Yankees can't hit water if they fell out of a boat. Knicks versus Hawks. So best of seven series, games one and two at MSG. Of course, game one Saturday. I'm assuming game two is on Monday, but I'm not going to assume the rest of them. We'll see when the schedule comes out. Games three and four will be at State Farm Arena in Atlanta. Game five at MSG. Game six at State Farm Arena in Atlanta. And game seven back here at MSG. We are just going to give the predictions for game one because the schedule is not out. So we're pretty confident it'll be on Monday, but we'll save that for the episode next Monday. Dom, game one on Saturday. What do you got? And give us a score if you can.
I say that we're gonna take game 1. It's gonna be a hard game. It might even go into overtime,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. If I had to predict a score, I mean, I don't know, I'd say, like, 115, 113. It's
Mm-hmm.
gonna be a really close game.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's gonna go into overtime or not, but it's gonna be a bloodbath, and there's gonna be a lot of I think it's gonna be a slow first half, and then the second half's gonna pick up for both teams, and we just gotta just try and claw it out with this, subpar defense that we have, and just gotta hope that we make some threes.
Yeah. Uh I am going to say the Knicks do take game one. I'm gonna say there's no overtime. And I actually say the Knicks win by 6. And I'm gonna say they win like a 120-113 game. Uh the Hawks are young. I don't think these cats have dealt with MSG rocking like it always does in the playoffs. However, I'm not going to say that they beat them on a hefty margin because they do have a veteran leader like CJ McCollum. So could it be 6? It could even be down to 4. But I'm going to say they win by 6, 120-113. It does not go into overtime. And I say they take game one, but we'll give our game two predictions and so forth next week. I think after game one, the Hawks will, you know, buckle down and they'll, get accustomed to the crowd. And of course, all young cats always play better at home than on the road, especially when they don't have a lot of playoff
Absolutely,
experience.
for sure.
That's just what I've seen through my years of watching playoff basketball. So that's that. We'll give more predictions next week for the Knicks. We just wanted to do game one because it's this Saturday. Now for baseball, Dom will go first. Yankees, they play the Angels starting tonight at 7:05 here in New York. That's 4 games. And then they play also at home. Kansas City comes into town on Friday, and that's 3 games. So 7 games on the week. Dom, what's your weekly prediction for the Yankees?
3 and 4. We're gonna go 3 and 4.
Okay. Hmm.
Can you blame me? I mean,
No,
lucky I'm giving
no.
them 3 wins,
Yeah.
honestly.
Honestly, I was shocked. I thought you were going to go with like a 1 or 2 win route, to be honest.
But I mean, we just gotta hope that when they're home, that they'll show up. I know, hopefully the short porch will work for us,
Hmm.
against the Angels, and then I mean, the Royals are doing good, but there is some struggling players, like, Caglione and then Vinny Pasquantino. So, I mean, Bobby Witt Jr. is Bobby Witt. He's gonna do his thing. He's probably one of the best players in baseball, just in every aspect of the game, so you can't really expect him to do bad. But they don't have that great of pitching either, but just don't sleep on the Angels either. They're a
Hmm.
good team right now,
Yeah.
hitting and pitching.
Hmm.
So,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, I'll go 3 and 4 on the week.
Okay. Mets at Dodgers starting tonight. Of course, they're on the West Coast for these 3 games, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So think all the games start at 10:10. I would have to check that. Tonight's game is at 10:10. Tuesday's game, yep, 10:10, and Wednesday, I believe, is the same. Yep,
Yep.
that's 10 o'clock on ESPN on Wednesday. That they're gonna get swept. That's 0-3, and I'll give them one win. I'm gonna say they go 1-5. They're off on Thursday. Uh, I mean, I could even go as much as to say they don't win a game this week. I mean, that's how shitty they look right now. But I'll give them one win. I think Nolan McLean gets them a win tomorrow night. Well, actually, that would be tomorrow. So I predicted that a loss. So he's going to pitch again, I believe, maybe the last game in Chicago, I think would be because he pitches on Tuesday. But I mean, they're off on Thursday. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Yeah, it would be the last game in Chicago. So I don't think he'll win tomorrow night. I think he'll get him a win in the series finale against Chicago. So I'll go 1-5. I'm not even going to go into the pitching matchups. There's not even a point. They don't look good enough against frankly anybody. If you can't, like Dom said with the Yankees, if you can't beat the A's, who the fuck are you going to beat? The Giants don't count for either the Yankees or the Mets. They both beat their asses. So yeah, I'm gonna go 1-5 on the week. So that's our predictions for game one with the Knicks and Hawks, and then the Yankees and the Mets. Now, episode wrap up. Dom, do you have anything else to say before I wrap up today's episode?
So I guess my final thoughts when it comes to the Knicks, you know, how it's been all year, you gotta shoot and hope to make it. But this is the time. You've practiced all year. You gotta make your shots. That's all that it is. Make your damn shots. Make your damn free throws, please.
Yeah. Yes.
Um,
Oh
I
my
don't think that's
God.
gonna happen, but I you gotta fucking make these free throws, man. Make those, and like I said, it's all on you, Cat. We can't have Jalen Brunson playing hero ball the entire
Mm-mm,
time, and
mm-mm.
Mikal Bridges, don't let me down, please. I'm not gonna hear the end of it from Chris. Please do it for me, so Chris doesn't have to chew my ear off for the rest of the year. Please.
Oh boy.
And then
Um.
I guess when it comes
Yeah.
with the Yankees, I forgot about the Yankee part.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about Cam Schlittler at all. I mean, he had two not great starts, but at the end of the day, I mean, he got saved in his first start when it came to the hitting, and then the second time he didn't. I mean, 3 runs really isn't a lot at all. I mean, a little, not really in as much control as it usually is, but I'm not worried. It's still early. Max Fried didn't have a great game either yesterday, but not worried about him either. Luis Hill, this is gonna be a problem. This seems like a big problem. He got sent down, then he came back up, and still looks like shit. So I don't know what to say about that. And then everyone just fucking hit the ball, please. Like, like that's it. Just hit the damn ball. Get out of your slump. Do whatever the hell you got to
Uh,
do to get out of your slump. I don't care what it is, but there's only one good hitter on this team, and we're not going to win a single game if we only have one hitter, one good hitter on this team.
mhm.
So
Anything about the Giants?
the Giants, I'll save that for next week.
Yeah.
But I have a lot to say next week, especially with a couple of signings that we did have over this past week. But I'll save that for next week, and we'll talk about all the NFL drafts next Monday.
Yeah. I'll just get the Jets out of the way. Yeah, I'm not gonna say much on them. They still have to obviously continue to focus on the draft. Someone came out, I forgot his name, but one of the analysts, I think his name is maybe Matt Miller. He was saying that he could see the Jets trading up for Carnell Tate. Hey, I said it too. I said trade up for a wide receiver. Wouldn't be a bad idea. They need a wide receiver too badly, but I'll get more into them next Monday, just like Dom will with the Giants. The Knicks, there are two things. One of them I said last week in the reel. The other one I didn't say yet. The one that I did say already on defense, communication is huge. The screens, the pick and rolls, got to get through those. They got to be much, much better defensively with the communication. It was not good enough in the regular season, in my opinion. It's got to be 10 times better in the playoffs, especially against a young, quick team like the Atlanta Hawks. But one thing I didn't say last week that they really need to do in the playoffs, and that's what they were doing against more the Celtics than the Hawks, the pick and roll job that they were doing, Brunson and Cat. We got to see that a lot in the playoffs. I was seeing it a fair amount against Boston. Dom sent me a video from Twitter showing it, and it looked like it was really working in the game. They got to do that as much as possible. And something else that we haven't seen in the regular season that often, which me and Dom said it a few times, not as much as a lot of the other stuff, but Brunson, Alvarado, McBride, whoever's running point guard, do some alley-oops with Mitch Robinson. I mean, he's tall. He's out there. I mean, for the love of God, I mean, the guy can't hit free throws, doesn't have a mid-range shot, can't really do anything else but get offensive and defensive rebounds and dunk. So use him to his abilities and do some alley-oops. I mean, I just said how the Atlanta Hawks can't really match the height of Robinson and Cat. Utilize that and do some alley-oops. So that's everything for the Knicks for now. And the Mets, you got a lot of work to do. You got
Yeah.
a lot of you got to make up a lot of mistakes, make up some ground, not so much with the standings, but honestly with the fans. And it honestly starts tonight because right now I got you marked at a 10-game losing streak and with one win with Nolan McLean on the mound on Sunday. That's where I have you right now. And it's just, I went on my rant for 20, 30 minutes on this episode. I'm not going to get on it again. We're already an hour and a half into this episode. I'm just going to leave it at, you got to figure it out. And it starts tonight in LA. This is a big test for you. Do I think you're going to pass it? God, no. But it'd be nice if you do at least one game, especially with a crappy pitcher like David Peterson on the mound, who, again, I picked as my disappointment pick for the year. But yeah, that's really everything I got to say. Dom, how are you? Are you good?
I just saw just now that the Yankees are deciding, aka Aaron Boone, if Garrett Cole should have more rehab starts or not. They don't know what to do. That's what I just read. And make him pitch. What? Why? Why? Why are you making this guy rest? He was resting
Dom,
for a goddamn year.
Dom, what did you always say to me? If you have to question it, don't do it.
Yeah,
If you have to question if he's ready, then don't put him in the major league team.
yeah,
Then let him pitch in the minors then.
exactly. I just saw that,
Unbelievable.
and that's the most Aaron Boone thing I've ever heard. So, just to end the episode off, had to put that out there.
Yeah. That's asinine, but yeah. Fair way to end it off
Yeah.
for your episode wrap up. All right. Well, that's going to do it for us today. Thank you to everyone for tuning in to today's episode of the FTB podcast on either YouTube, Spotify, or Apple Podcasts. Be sure to like this episode and subscribe to our YouTube channel so you never miss any of our shows. See you folks on Tuesday. Peace.
Thank you, everyone. I appreciate it.